Hello and welcome back to Raccoon City, my fellow stars and miners. I hope you're all doing well. And before you say anything, yes, this video is a little bit longer, but don't panic. Don't run away. Don't think, oh God, I haven't got time for all this, because I have a plan. It's not much of a plan. To be honest, this video is going to be the usual. Quick recap, maybe 10 minutes just explaining what I've got done over the week, where I'm up to, the usual malarkey. Quick cover of a couple of little commands, because I did notice in the last video that when I type the commands out, they don't actually show up on your screen. I mean, you can very quickly pause it, but that's a bit of a pain. So I thought I'd re-go over a couple of those today. And then after I've recapped it, I'm just going to carry on recording for a little bit, do a bit more building, do a bit more texturing, and basically just explain how I work this build and how I do it. But as I say, first 10 minutes, if you want to tune out after that, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm here to recap. Once it's done, feel free to get on with your lives and ignore me. But let's start as we usually do with a shout out. Thank you very much to Gangster Studios 250 for subscribing. There was also another subscriber. Unfortunately, no name was given to me, just blank. And also, I actually had a question from Gangster Studios, and let me just check that out. Here we go. This was actually posted on one of the other ones because I didn't realise that my comments were turned off. And the question came 6 days ago. Are you tired of building Raccoon City? Do you say yes, take a break, or say no and just keep building? Well, the truth is, I actually do not get bored of this. What I do find sometimes is I have builder's block. So I will come in, I will have videos set up with screenshots ready, and basically get ready to build. And then my brain just sort of goes on vacation. Just decides to just like, no, I'm not doing nothing for you today. And I can't think what blocks I'm going to use, whether I want to texture it a certain way, or just basically yeah, brain just goes on a wander. But yeah, to answer your question, Gangster, no, I actually thoroughly enjoy this. Just as and when I have the patience and time to do it. Right, with all that being done, let's show you where I'm up to so far. So, this obviously is the basement that leads into the car parking area from the lower level of the RPD. And I have made a start on this. As you can see, been through it. In a few light, I mean, they're not the greatest light sources, but it's quite a dark area, and the minute you start putting end rods in here or lanterns, it becomes really bright, and then you lose this texture effect on the floor of there, like that's where the light pattern is, when in truth it's not, it's just different blocks. So we've managed to get out here done, along to here, and obviously this will lead up to the outside of the building and down to the sewer area. I have made a start on the morgue. But again, this is going back to the builder's block. Let's get rid of that. Oh, yeah, I made the ceiling out of gravel and concrete powder. Yeah, I'm not that keen on the... I always forget to turn always night off. Always. It's because I do it before I log out, so I can make sure that it looks right. Yeah, we've got this corridor done. Obviously, this will be the room where you get the submachine gun, which will be probably a crossbow in this, or a magnum shotgun. I haven't decided yet. This is going to be another room, the power room. I think I might stick a load of observers in there, and one little sign for now. Right, in the meantime, let's go and sort this daylight setting out. Where am I? Yeah. Okay, so one thing I did forget to mention in the last video is the daylight sensor. It doesn't have to be a daylight sensor. It can just be a lever. So if I click this right now, let me just open up the actual screen itself. Yeah, there it is. So that is the command that you need to set your game to midnight and permanently make it midnight. So it's / time space set space midnight. And then you click this little icon here, press that, and it will automatically set the time. It comes up in the corner, command set. That means it's official and it's working. And then anytime you flick that, it will permanently become night. So for example, if I turn it to daytime now, so always day on, it is now daytime. Flick this lever, permanently night. So yes, you don't have to use a daylight sensor, and you can use a button as well. So I hope that helps people with their builds. I will quickly go over the teleporting commands as well for when I did the starting area. But so far, from what you saw last week, I have made a few changes. So in here, obviously now we've got these. I don't know why I used the friend one. They were supposed to be flames, but never mind. So I've made a few tweaks. I've raised the height of this building. I haven't done the roof yet. Roofs just tend to bore me. We've got all of down here done because I realised actually what I'd done last time is I'd based this more off a modded version, and this area actually wasn't here. So I was completely wrong with that and had to rework it all and add this entire building structure in here, which you only see when you're playing as Jill and you run along there. There's a camera angle here that gives you the sign for these for sale, lease and private property things, which I could only read on the HD versions, which gives you the back of these buildings. Also done a little bit of texturing, added in diagonal corridors, not happy about, but unfortunately we had to. And then down here, just a few more extras, just a few little bits, little hidden spawner down there. They are proving to be lethal when you turn mobs on. Managed to finally get the inside of Jack's bar done. And I'll be honest, I'm actually really chuffed on how this has come out. The candles work wonderful as bottles. I don't know, they just add so much more to the build instead of just keeping it bland and boring. That's my little ceiling fan. I've got the lights pretty much where they are. Unfortunately, the game doesn't have deer heads, so I've had to go with the new piglin head, which dropped in 1.20. So yeah, Jack's bar is done. And then if we scoot around here, done a little bit more in here, a bit more detailing. I've still got a lot of texturing to do. I tend to do texturing all in one go. I might do a little bit today, show you how I actually work the texturing. Right, so now we're definitely into uncharted territory. None of this was here before. So what we've got here, I've managed to do, signs. I've actually completed this entire street, down to the police cars, the signs, the barrel, the TNT, the boarded up windows, and even the fact it is Fisson Street. So, and I'll do like these banners. These banners are obviously for the little road warning signs that were pitched up. These banners, on the other hand, excuse moi, these, I hate using tutorials for anything, so I decided I was going to do this myself, and you'll be able to tell the difference between these and some I'm going to show you in a bit. These drove me mad, absolutely batcrap crazy. But I managed to do it, and originally behind these there was blue concrete, so it actually did look like the store's billboard. And I'll explain why I had to remove it in a minute. Through here, where you come down with Jill, all that is done. Managed to get a bit of texturing done on this side of the building, not a lot. The suspicious gravel. I should not be obsessed with a single block in this game, but I love it. For texturing and gradients, oh my god, I mean, look at it. Look at it. Especially with the brain coral. It just, oh, it does so much. Anyway, keep it PG, keep it PG. Right, the starting area with Jill. This was a little bit of a pain. But again, just a bit of spacing, bit of texturing, and managed to get some details in that I didn't never have in my original build. And yeah, I'm really happy with the way this has come out, especially the little forklift trucks. I mean, the bamboo block. It's finally time we had a decent yellow block. The only thing I am missing is a blue block. Blue blocks would be really good. And I don't mean the stuff you put in your cistern to clean your toilet. And obviously here's the room where you get the key there off the wall, which is always something that baffled me, because I always wondered if that's the only door. Because if you run around as Jill in Resident Evil 3, there's only one door in this entire area, and that's that one. So what does she do? Come in, lock the door behind her, come up here, hang the key up, go back down, then start shouting at the poor, scared, terrified man, then come back up, get the key and unlock the door. I mean, Jill, seriously, what is wrong with you? You're supposed to be a STARS member. Eventually, ammo or health, or both, will be in that chest to help the player get started. Yeah, a few details on the signs again from Borkspa's Seamless HD, and actually the Residents of Evil doing their Nemesis mod playthrough. If I remember, I will try and find links for both of their videos and pop them in so you can check them out, show them your support. And then this is actually what I've done today. So this will be the starting area for Jill. So obviously when this apartment building, I think it's a hotel in the book, but apparently it's a apartment building, blows up, Jill gets thrown to the floor, stands up, you've got crushed cars all the way down one side, the bins at the end. I was going to make them higher, but if players want to play this, they need to be able to jump over it. So that's the only reason why that is that high. I can safely say, without shadow of a doubt, I have taken 2, maybe 3 hours building this. And I can tell you the exact screenshot, and between which screenshots I've been staring at on Borkspa's Resident Evil 3, Nemesis, Seamless HD version, his story and review. It was exactly 3 minutes 29 I paused it, and it was exactly 3 minutes 41 seconds I unpaused it. And I was staring at those screenshots for 3 hours. Yeah, exactly. That's why these builds take so long. It's not a question of, oh, you've got creativity. I mean, you're in creative, you can just build it and build it. No, I want this to be as exact and detailed as humanly possible, which means I have to go and stare at things a lot. So this has been done today. And what I'm going to do is, once I've finished up the recap of where we're up to, ignore those, you never saw those. They will be covered eventually. Yeah, once I've finished today's recap on where we're up to, I'm going to quickly show you, basically, yeah, how I build, what I actually do, what my thought process is. And, yeah, just give you a bit of insight, maybe a few pointers, tips on how I build, how to do a bit of texturing, gradient lighting, things like that. Next bit that I did, I have to scoot all the way over here. I've made a start on Claire B's starting area. So, obviously when you start as Claire, you'll teleport up here. I will go through the teleport command in a minute. Managed to get the road signs up. This was the best I could do for these barriers. They're not actually that high in the game, so maybe I'll lower them. But that was the best I could do with the blocks we have available. Grey cars, I need to go through the wheel options again, but obviously doing map art is very time consuming, even in creative, especially when you don't know the commands. Although I have actually learnt a couple, so I will cover those when I scoot over. So yes, this is Claire's starting area. As you can go, you've got Amagomis, which is actually Shimogama, backwards. I believe he was part of the art team on the original Biohazard Japanese version. I may be wrong on that, but I think that is correct. This usually says delicatessen, but there's no way I'm doing all those signs. See how much better those signs look. I mean, look at the M. Look at that M compared to... Where Where is it? Where is it? That M. Yeah, I broke in the end. I caved. I just couldn't, especially the G. And even that G, that one G following a tutorial online. Oh, no, definitely not. But yeah, if you can learn to use these, there are plenty of tutorials online. Again, if I remember the link to the video I watched, the first one I watched wasn't that good. The second one was far more detailed and a lot easier to follow. If I remember the link, I will pop that in as well in case you ever want to make your own signs. And that's it when it comes to the building aspect. Oh, hang on, did I make a start? Yes. So yes, I did make a start. Obviously, that's where we started and came in. That's the corridor. Eventually, this will be the car parking area. Had to make a few tweaks because behind this wall is the front of the RPD, where you'd meet Zombie Brad if you made it through to the station without picking up any items. Few blocks just to let me know that they're the blocks I need to be using in there. And yeah, frog lights because it's a bit dark down here. But yeah, that's it for the recap. That is exactly where we're up to so far with this build. I definitely hope you're enjoying that. But I have one last surprise. So if I go here into my options, you can see it says Reaper teleported. Well, teleported Reaper to .50.40. That was actually wrong. I had to be at -60. So for that command, if you want to teleport yourself when you're in creative to any other point in the map, it is /TP at the @ sign, then with a small s, which is equivalent for self. And the coordinates I want to go to are 0, space, -60, space, 0. So if I press start now, you should have this come up on your screen. Let me just double check, because I'm also putting this, there we go. So that is the command to teleport me to those coordinates. So /TP at S for self, space, first digit, space, middle digit, space, last digit. And then when I press start, boop, here I am, teleported. And you can probably hear that. Yes. So this is going to be the starting point. Whenever you log into this world, this is where you will start. This is where you will begin your journey. This is actually the world spawn. Although since I've started building right above it, it's moved the spawn up there. So I've now had to reset the world spawn, again using a command, which I believe, I think that's already in the options menu. Yes, set world spawn. So when set world spawn comes in, it will be /set world spawn, all one word. And then I'm going to set it to where I currently am now, which is 0 space -60 space 0. So if I press start now, that comes up on the screen. And then start again. Now, I will always, and hopefully anyone that joins this now, I need to test this, I need to get a couple of my friends to check it out for me, should always spawn here on this specific block. So I decided I didn't want just a normal, boring menu where you just simply log in and that's it. It's just like, oh, press this, press this, press this. I could have done that like I did in the video before with the items are here, press. I thought I'd make it start off, so obviously you've got the warden behind. I might restrict him to one block so you can't hear that walking, you can just hear the heartbeat. Or maybe even get some sound discs in. Cat maybe or something. Oh, it is definitely better at night, this. That's another reason why I switched night on. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that right now. So if I press up on my pad. Yeah, so if you're on Xbox and you go into your settings and press up and down on your D-pad, it will actually go through the previous commands you put in, and then you can just edit them. So I can change this now to, I think it's 101. I want to say 102 just to be safe. And this should teleport me to Leon's starting point. It did. And I'm one above the ground. Good, because I do not... Excuse me. No. Oh, please no. Really? Right. Yeah, this is the stuff I don't normally include in my recaps. They just... Things just do the things. And I don't know why things do the things. They shouldn't do the things. It's really annoying. So, let's get nighttime on. Press up on my pad. Teleport back down here. And as you can see, we've got the night sky in the back. Little wooded area. Little hut. It's pitch black all around. And there's just a forest. With one path. And we have Welcome to Raccoon City, the world of survival horror. Good luck. And something's broken my door. Rookie cop, Leonis Kennedy. College student, Claire Redfield. Stars member, Jill Valentine. So each of these doors will be one way. Once you go in, you've picked your character. That's it. And obviously, when you die, I need to find out a way of building a respawn. Maybe rigging up command blocks to, well, the equivalent of a typewriter. But I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. That's code I'm going to have to look up another time. But if we come over here, here we have, I need to put some light. Did I even put a roof on this? I didn't. Again, this is something I was building the other day. And what I've added now is the new armor trims, because it just adds a bit more detail to the uniform. And as you can see, I've actually got duplications of these shulker boxes because numerous people are going to need these, although I'm hoping once it's on, I'm going to find a way of replenishing these tubs so different players can try at different times. So we've got the standard issue RPD vest, the police issue trousers, the issue boots, HKVP 70, which is Leon's pistol, 30 rounds instead of 15, 2 potions of instant health, and this time some additional food. Yes, I've kept these as well. So obviously you'd pick up those items, press to begin, and you're at Leon's starting point. So eventually for Claire's, hers will be over this side, which is why I've made a start on here. And then Jill's will be where I've shown you where I'm up to today. So yeah, I'm trying to why did I just flick that switch? Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out new game mechanics and new ways of just making this a little bit more interesting, a little bit more not entertaining as such, but different to any normal Minecraft world you could just log into. I mean, obviously I want to keep with the Resident Evil theme, stick as close as humanly possible to Raccoon City as you can in a world built with square blocks. It's time consuming because of obviously the thought process. That's the most time consuming part. Once the idea is there, the building part is pretty easy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm quickly going to just close this page down here. Bring up Borksper's, which was from a while ago. Let's just check. There we go. So now I need to go back. Oh, no, not that far. Oh, that's too far. It was here.
The game is telling you with the intro and with blowing out of your apartment and with this music that this game has an entirely different feel to it.
That is true.
So there's more emphasis on action immediately. There are more zombies on the screen in the first second than you've seen for a while in the game.
Right, let's just... No, I did not mean to pause. Right, here we go. This is the bit where the zombies push her through the door. I just need to double check that the brickwork on the inside is the same as the brickwork on the outside. Quick pause. And there we go. Ugh. This is pretty much how I do my builds. I have to watch a bit of a video, go back, come back to it, and then repause, and then just double check everything. So yes. So this area here is pretty much, this is actually, it's closer in colour to this block, in all fairness. However, it's actually between these, so I've kind of decided to go with the moss. So if there was it would be nice if we could have a way of dyeing wood, like even if you could just add a tint to it, like you can dye wool. Maybe if you could varnish, that's the one. Varnish certain wood types, maybe the lighter ones, like if you could varnish birch or bamboo even, and you're not the right block. I think that would be an idea. But I suppose Minecraft was supposed to be quite the basic game. Hang on, there's a reason I left that there. There's a window there. So basically what I normally do is like what I've done here. I just fill it in with the blocks that we're supposed to use. So that's obviously just the way it is. It's stone brick. I'll worry about the windows and any texturing later. And obviously then we've got this area here. Now, according to the map, this is 2 buildings. But according to the screenshot, it's the same brick all the way along. But because it's 2 buildings and you actually can't really see the edge of the other one that well, I am actually going to make it 2 buildings. So when this path is filled in, you can actually see down it and it actually looks like a proper street. So, quick introduction then to the fill command. Now, fill command, you could do it as if I wanted to fill from this block here all the way along here, all the way up to, say, this height. Or, if you wanted, I could fill in this entire box with stone. I'll give you a quick example. This here, this building right here is completely solid. Like, all the way through, of mud brick. Because I didn't want to have to do the fill command on all 4 walls. So I simply just filled the entire thing with mud brick. And the way we do that is, the easiest way to do it is, so this is my current position. So I'm currently at minus 119, 101, 105. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly just going to type in, /fill, and I've forgotten what it was, minus 119, 105. Oops. So fill space minus 119 space 101, because that's the level we're at, and then 105. And then I'm going to move it. Oh, I've done it wrong. I've done it wrong already. I'm just going to do that just so that it's there. See, when it's wrong, it will come up with syntax error. So, yes, this is the starting point where I'm filling from, and I want to fill up to this point right here, 109. So if I go back into my menu, type this, and oh no, I've gone wrong. Right. So /fill minus 119 space 101 space 105. And I don't know the name of this symbol. I tried to Google it and I couldn't find it. Stone. Now, is it mossy? Is it mossy stone block? Some of these commands I can't work because some of them are still classed as stone type 3, stone type 4. And I'm going to just type in mossy. There it is, mossy cobblestone, mossy stone brick stairs. Wait, why is that the only option? Mossy cobblestone stairs, mossy stone brick. This is why sometimes it's just easier to fill it in yourself. Oh, so let's go. Mossy underscore. I'm picking a really bad example here. That's it. That's it, Reaper. Pick the one that doesn't work. Mossy stone. Oh, so it falls under double stone block slab floor. 4. See, this is what I'm saying. Why it's so confusing. 2, 3, 4. Mossy stone brick stairs. Moss normal stone stairs. Moss smooth stone. Moss double stone block slab. Is that right? Well, we'll find out. Unexpected error. What? Okay, that's not working. That's not working. Right. Yeah, you can tell I don't edit these because this is not getting cut out. I will happily leave this in. Right, we're going to try this one. So minus 99, 106. And we want it to come up to about here, roughly the same height. So what did we say it was? 99, 106. Right, let's delete you. No. No. So. Yeah, never get me to do tutorial videos, I tell you that. Right, so the command. Here we go. Let's try this now. So it is /fill minus 109 space 101 space 106 space weird squiggle space weird squiggle space weird squiggle. That weird squiggle is basically your current position. So the first one is your current X, the middle one is your current Y, and the last one is your current Z position. And then obviously a space, and then whichever block you want to fill in with it. But as I said, for some reason, some blocks just don't come up. I don't understand why. But if I press start now, I'll tell you what I did wrong there. It was 99, not 109. There we go. So that should... There we go. There we go. There we have it. That's the block I broke. And yeah, so that fills that. This is why sometimes it's easier just to get your block and just go along, which is what I'm going to have to do on this one now. But in the time it takes sometimes to type them all out, I think it's good for big floors. Like that's what I usually do with the obsidian. But I mean, yeah, that was actually faster than me typing out the command. But if you ever want to do a solid structure, for example, so what you would do is, if I wanted this entire square here to be completely solid brick, I would take that first command, which was here, all the way down here. In fact, do you know what? I'll show you. So if I go diagonally across to here, I can keep the exact same command, because all that I'm changing is my Z-axis. And because that doesn't have a second number, it's just to my current position, it will fill everything from there to here in a square. So exactly the same again. Press start. Both. Big, solid block. No, actually, I did not need to come that that far along on that one. So yeah, now this entire thing is solid brick all the way through. I'm just going to fill that back in. I'm not doing any interiors to buildings you never, ever even see. So yeah, that's basically how the fill commands work. It certainly is helpful for big builds. Wait, did I do that with this one? I think I did that with this one as well. Yes, I did. Sorry, I'll bug my OCD if there's just one little piece off. I don't have like a severe OCD. I'm just annoying. That's the only way I'll describe my OCD. Just annoying. So, yes, that's the fill commands covered. Obviously, that's all brick now. Eventually, once I'd got an area done, then I'll go over it and texture it. So, when it comes to texturing, you don't want to overdo it. That's the one key fact I did learn when I first started texturing is there can be too much texturing. So, for example, I haven't actually done any on this front of this build here. I think that's because I don't need to. The buttons kind of add a little bit of extra depth to it, even though they're not a necessity. And it just kind of keeps it fresh a little. Whereas with things like this, you just the odd splash of just something different, but of close or similar colour. And the way I try and work around texturing is things like this. So as you can see, I've done almost this entire area in granite, even though all the rest is in brick, and a few little areas like here. And the idea behind that, I mean, this is blackstone and deep slate because when it's night time, it makes that look far darker and bigger than what it actually is, and you don't see the light contrast because of how I've got this area lit up. I have deliberately not put lights in here to give it that dark feeling, but I have stuck some glow lichen around, because not only does that look like mess or broken glass on the floor, but it's also a cheap way of hiding a bit of lighting in. Also, if you were to put glowstone in these emit a light source as well, but I don't really want to do that because they're supposed to be bins, hence the lid and handle. Oh, actually, that's a point. Did I show down here last time? I don't think I did. Those of you that hung around have got an extra bit. Yeah, so originally, this is where you come down, you get the lighter fluid off there, and in here, there will be a shotgun. There will be a crossbow with multi-shot, maybe power up piercing 2 or 3, and you've somehow snuck by me. Not having that. But yeah, when it comes to texturing, you've got to think, like, where is areas going to be weathered? So obviously there's a drain pipe here, and there's a drain pipe here, hence why I've put moss, a little bit of bare stone, because obviously the rain's poured over this, it's taken more of a beating from the elements, and what I would do is find whatever colour block is close or similar. With brick, I think granite and normal terracotta are probably the closest, but I do find terracotta a bit too smooth. So if I were to break that, put that in there, see what I mean? It is quite smooth. If you were doing a large scale mega base or a mega build, then yes, by all means, you could definitely add that in as a gradient and texturing for higher up. But then what I would do is I will go over these areas. Ooh, excuse me. Like this. And just add that extra twinge of colouring. And at first you don't really notice it too much. But if you've got an entire wall like this is that's just all brick, it looks so monotonous and so single. There's nothing to sort of like draw your eyes around. It's just there. It's just existing in the background. So what I like to do is just every now and then, just in random spots, just go around, just beat the walls out, and this is usually how I do it. And then go to areas like this. So this is another drain pipe. Well, it's supposed to be a drain pipe. We haven't got vertical pipes yet. I don't think we ever will. In fact, this area could probably take quite a lot of... In fact, let's do that actually. I don't know why I did that. You can't see that bit anyway. And it's just a way of just adding in just little extra details. It's same with the floor. The exact same with the floor. You've got to think of areas that have been walked on and trodden on quite a lot. I think I mentioned it with the RPD car park and the where the traffic always goes. So that area is kind of damaged more. And as you can see here, the lighter colours around the main stretch of the path. And in places you can actually see I've used tough. I mean, I hate the block, but that almost looks like where car tyres have gone down. They've actually driven down here. And it adds a subtle detail that you wouldn't look for in a game, but your brain notices it. It's very subconscious. Because if all this was smooth basalt, and all this was stone, all this was brick, it would seem lifeless. It adds a bit of lived-in feeling to it. I think that's the best way I can describe it. It feels like it's existed, and because you're there with it, you can exist with it. It's very hard to explain. I read a comment out at the start, and this is what I want to start doing when people comment, is I want to start reading them out. What do you guys think of this window frame? Now, ideally, I would love to have had smooth stone walls. We don't have them, so I can't harp on about it. And originally, I was going to put stairs in here and then try and use something else to level them up. But obviously, walls don't stick to fence gates, and it looked really stupid. But if any of you guys have got any suggestions on what else I could put in there to make that look better, then I am all ears at the moment. I really am, because the entire RPD build, that is the bit I am the most unhappy with. And it's the front. It's the front. You see it. I mean, yes, it's going to be night time, and maybe it's just me being a bit of a perfectionist, but I can see it, and it really, really grinds me. Just drives me mad. But yeah, so that's... I'm not going to ramble on any longer. I think I've just given off a few extra tips on how my process works, how I gradient things, and also let me know of the sound quality of this, because the last time I did a video, towards the end, apparently it was very crackly. I don't know if that's my headset or if that's just something that's happening with certain streams or video recording. I'm not 100% sure, but let me know. I mean, I will have to listen to it back myself, but I didn't hear it in the last one. But when I uploaded it, sure enough, it was there. So yeah, we're going to call it there for today, guys. I hope you've had a good one and you're enjoying the build as it's coming along so far. By next week, I'm really hoping to get this alleyway finished. As you can see, I've filled it in. It's ready. It just needs the windows putting in, the decorating, the texturing, the few items on the floor, and get this section done and hopefully set up Jill's teleporter. What I'll have here is, when you run through here, a command block, probably rigged up to a pressure plate or something, so as soon as you touch it, you teleport straight in there, just as you would in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. And yeah, that's my plan for getting done for next week. But as always, honestly, thank you guys for sticking around. My views are increasing, my subscribers are increasing, the time views are increasing, because I get notified of all the updates and analytics, and I've got to admit, it's steady growth, and I'm dead happy with it. Like I say, I'm not striving to be the world's greatest YouTuber or even a content creator. I just want to build this for you guys, for fans of the Resident Evil series, and get this world uploaded. And I'm not going to promise anything, but in the near future, I may put out the code for this world. I currently have this sitting on a realm at the minute, and if people actually want to come and see it and experience it and walk around it themselves, let me know in the comments. And maybe I'll share the code out for like an hour or two, because obviously it's only a 10-person realm, and if everyone tries to get on and can't, well, they can't. But it's an option. It's an option that's there. I've got it on a realm for a specific reason. This somebody that was interested in checking it out, and I'm not going to go into details who, but I'm really hoping they do, because as and when, honestly, I will be thrilled. But with all that being said and done, thanks again, guys, for chilling out and coming by and checking out my video and checking out the build. And as per usual, everyone, be good people, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.